Thank you for tuning in to 7 Mobile Minutes, brought to you by 7 Media Group. Now, here are your hosts, Ron Carricker and Dave Morris.
And welcome to another edition of the 7 Mobile Minutes, the 2016 edition. We kick it off with this one. Ron, it's been a while. Good to see you again. How are the holidays?
Good. Putting on my winter coat. Weather's coming, so I've been working on that. That's been my main focus for the last couple of weeks.
Well, and the weather is coming here and abroad. We'll get to some European travels here in a little bit. But first of all, we're going to talk about the state of the industry and how you're plugged in as an expert in the mobile field from the past years of experience, but then just through networking and some of the things that you have coming up. And we'll start with blogging. You're going to be blogging here later this week on a monthly basis for a national publication. Yeah,
I guess finally after maybe almost 20 years since college, getting my journalism degree, I'm actually going to write some stuff. So I knew that would come in handy at some point. I'm glad I got that degree. It's funny. I keep asking myself or ask, is it that I'm an industry expert, or is it that just I've been around a hell of a long time and I'm old and people think I know what I'm talking about? But hopefully they know that I am an expert, I think, in some degree. But it's important to me about education, teaching others, best practices, things like that. And it's given me the opportunity like this that just recently came about for the power sports industry, which I'm heavily involved in, as we've talked about in the past. But the Power Sports Business magazine is a publication that is designed for power sports dealers, owners, general managers, the guys that are involved in the business side of the dealership, the day-to-day operations, that sort of thing.
This is not necessarily for those who had the bikes with the flames. This is on the other side.
Right.
Hey, this is what got the bike with the flames out the door. This is what I did.
Exactly. Yeah, these aren't really. It's not really for the customer driven. It's a business to business type publication. So they asked me to blog about mobile. So the mobile industry and just education again. I'm not there to sell anything. Just kind of help the mobile industry. Those decision makers that are running their dealerships. Just help them implement mobile strategies. Do it the right way. Ask the right questions and basically deploy things that are valuable for their industry. And not just because that's the latest, greatest thing that they heard, online or whatever. So that's one thing that people fall into really fast is, hey, we need to be doing this. I'm hearing about this and that. And it's like, yeah, you have no idea what they're talking about. You don't need that, So hopefully I can give a little bit of insight and guidance to the power sports industry.
Another one, Direct Employers, talking recruitment. That's another blog publication that you'll be participating with.
Yeah, they're actually one of my clients and have been for several years. They use mobile marketing services for recruitment, and theirs is in a sense business to business in a way. They recruit businesses to work with. They provide a vendor type service where they help that business recruit employees and staff. So they use mobile in a way where they have trade shows and trade fairs and things like that, and they help the companies that they work with use mobile to get interest and things like that. So they asked me to be a guest blogger from time to time to talk a little bit about mobile and the recruitment industry and how it's being used in other areas of human resources and job hunting, things like that. So it's, again, just another facet of where mobile's at within a whole separate kind of industry from power sports and things. So I look forward to that too. I think that'll be interesting. I think I may be able to cross over some power sports recruiting and do some double duty. That'll make my job easier.
Hey, why not? Now, about a year ago, we bundled up and went to Germany as you spoke in Munich, and we did some sightseeing while we were there. But you spoke there about mobile marketing. A year later, you're headed to London. What takes you to London this year?
Yeah, it's great. Travel's been great, and I love that I get to travel and we do things like these speaking engagements and stuff, because it's interesting overseas getting the opportunity to talk about the mobile industry in the United States, because as much as mobile seems pretty basic to a lot of people and everybody's got a smartphone all over the world, it's different. It's done differently in a business setting in Europe as opposed to the way it is in the United States. So it's nice to go over there and talk about what we're doing here. And this particular event in London is called a Retail Summit, and it's specifically driven by retail business. It's for retailers in the UK. So they'll be there, those attending, that'll be marketing directors, CMOs, those types that are looking for how mobile is integrated into the marketing strategy. So we're going to share a little bit about what we're doing with businesses here in the US, like Harley-Davidson and some others, and that are in retail formats, and how they're using mobile. So maybe share some ideas, get some ideas. I think we'll have the opportunity to maybe visit maybe a few Harley dealers and some others that we've reached out to in terms of just kind of learning what's going on over there, because that's what it's all about. Getting educated is never a bad thing.
It was interesting going to the conference last year in Munich, which was about 3:00 our time, I think. In the middle of the night, we were over there learning about the mobile practices. They are heavily immersed in mobile, as much or more so than we are here in the United States, using their devices and talking to the customers in their stores and their shops and online. We saw the same thing in Chicago, the different practices that stores are using, whether it's beacons or geolocation or whatever. It'll be interesting to see what they're saying in London.
Yeah, and it's and it changes so fast. I mean, like you saw it. You were there. That was early February. We were in Munich, and then here we were at the end of the summer. September or whatever it was when we were in Chicago. It's pretty incredible how quickly things not so much change, but maybe spread. In the discussion of beacons and certain things we talked about in Munich, and then here we're talking about these kind of things in Chicago, and how some things have fallen off. They're not as popular as they were, and you noticed that. I'm going to be speaking again at South by Southwest this year in March, and same kind of structure of education, and those attending are those in the industry that want to learn about mobile and implement mobile. But I'm anxious to see what is going on in London, what's going on in the UK, and bringing some of that back by March, and kind of see where we are in the US at that point and how it compares to what they're doing in the UK.
The evolution of technology and mobile. Should be fun. All right, so we're back in the habit here on the 7 Mobile Minutes, and we'll have another edition next week as we lead into London, taking a look back perhaps at some of the things that happened last year and looking forward to what's coming up this year. Ron, good job, man. Catch you next week.
Thank you.